The sky burned over Vera's Reach, a lush human colony world on the fringe of settled space. What had once been endless forests and shimmering oceans became an inferno of orbital bombardment. The attackers were not human. They were the Caraxes Dominion, a species bred for conquest. Scaled warlords with talons for hands and fleets built from the husks of enslaved worlds. Their warships hovered above the atmosphere like carrion birds, raining kinetic hell upon defenseless cities. Civilians screamed into the void, begging Earth for aid, but no relief came in time. On the bridge of the Caraxes flagship, Commander Vrylak observed the devastation with cold satisfaction. "Pathetic primates," he hissed to his officers. "They spread like vermin, soft and unguarded. If this is humanity's frontier, then Earth itself will fall with no resistance." The order was given. Every human settlement on Vera's Reach was to be erased. The colony died in fire. Triumph of the arrogant news of the massacre rippled through the Caraxes fleet like a song of victory. Vera's Reach had been annihilated in less than a day. Not a single defensive ship remained intact. In the great halls of the Dominion, the ruling council feasted. They mocked the humans' naivety, raising cups of molten alloy to celebrate another conquest. One elder spoke with disdain. Humans believe themselves civilized. They sit behind treaties and pacts, afraid to strike first. Their fleets are scattered. Their diplomats preach peace. They are sheep, waiting for wolves like us. Laughter roared. Vrylak himself addressed the assembly, his claws glinting. "Let Earth grieve. Let them cry to their fragile allies. They will do nothing. They cannot. Their fleets are relics. Their will is weak. We will carve their worlds apart, and the galaxy will see the Dominion reign supreme." The chamber erupted in thunderous applause. The Caraxes Dominion believed they had just broken humanity's spirit. They had no idea they had awakened something far, far worse. The silence before the storm for a time. The galaxy watched. Reports of Vera's Reach spread across the stars. Independent traders whispered about the slaughter. Other empires, rivals of the Dominion, waited to see if Earth would respond. But humanity said nothing. No declaration of war. No fleets dispatched. No retaliation. The United Terran Assembly broadcast only a single statement. "We mourn the fallen. We remember the innocent. And we prepare." The words were calm, almost restrained. To the Caraxes, it was confirmation of weakness. "They lick their wounds," Vrylak sneered. "They are cowards, incapable of revenge." And so the Dominion prepared for the next campaign. Their fleets swelled. Their arrogance grew. Yet across human space, in hidden shipyards buried in asteroid fields, in black sites far from any star, a silence deeper than the void was unfolding. Earth was not idle. Earth was remembering. Protocol. Ascendant deep beneath the oceans of Earth, in the fortified vaults of the Erebus Command Network, ancient servers awoke. Final Protocol. That was its name. Written centuries ago, in the aftermath of humanity's earliest wars with alien aggressors. A plan not for deterrence, not for diplomacy. It was a plan for extinction-level retaliation. Coded into the protocol was one truth. If humanity ever faced annihilation, if mercy was mistaken for weakness, then the chains would break. Every fleet, every arsenal, every weapon forbidden by treaty or morality would be unleashed, and the galaxy would learn. To wound humanity was to summon its wrath. From Luna's shipyards rose the dreadnoughts, titans of steel the size of mountains, their hulls etched with the scars of wars thought forgotten. From Mars came the Leviathans, carriers so vast they blotted out starlight. From hidden silos on Europa, the Ashen Legions were awakened, soldiers in exo-armor, bred and trained for one purpose: vengeance. The stars themselves seemed to grow darker as humanity's fleets mobilized. The first omen. The Dominion never saw the first strike. One of their outpost stations near the Jaril Nebula simply vanished. At first, they assumed reactor failure. Then another fortress world went silent. Then an entire fleet reported a flash brighter than the sun before being reduced to static. Survivors spoke of shadows swallowing the stars, of warships that moved faster than light itself, of comms filled with a single human phrase, Protocol Ascendant. This is humanity's response. The galaxy trembled. The Dominion laughed no longer. The flood of steel. When the full retaliation began, it was unlike anything the stars had ever seen. The human armadas poured forth in every direction, not as scattered fleets but as a single storm. Entire sectors were swallowed overnight. The dreadnought Sol's Fury led the charge, its main cannon firing lances of antimatter that split planets open. Colonies built by the Dominion for centuries were turned to slag in hours. Human carriers released swarms of gunships, their engines roaring like thunder. Orbital bombardments rained with surgical precision, not indiscriminate fire, but calculated. Merciless justice. Every world that had cheered the massacre of Vera's Reach now found itself drowning under human fire. And wherever the Ashen Legions landed, the skies themselves seemed to darken. Soldiers in midnight armor emerged like a tide of death, their visors glowing with crimson light. They spoke no words, only advanced, unstoppable, unbreakable. The Dominion screamed. The galaxy watched in horror. The breaking of the Dominion, at the height of their power, the Caraxes Dominion had boasted over 12,000 warships. In 3 weeks, they had fewer than 200. The humans hunted them across the stars with cold precision. No fleet was too small to escape retribution. No fortress too strong to resist annihilation. Commander Vrylak's own flagship was cornered in the Tyrak expanse, surrounded by dozens of Terran dreadnoughts. His final transmission, captured across every channel, was filled not with arrogance but terror. "They are everywhere. No defense holds. The message ended in static, consumed by the fire of Earth's retaliation. The silence. After retribution, when it was over, there was no Dominion. The Caraxes species still existed. Fragments, survivors scattered like ash in the void. But their empire was gone. Entire sectors once ruled by their iron claws were left as silent graveyards, haunted by wreckage. Their banners were burned, their arrogance erased, and humanity? Humanity said nothing. No gloating, no feasts, no victory parades. The fleets returned to silent watch, the dreadnoughts fading back into the black like specters. Only one message was broadcast across the galactic networks. The debt of Vera's Reach is paid. The protocol is concluded. Let none mistake our patience for weakness again. Whispers in the dark in the aftermath, across the galaxy. Survivors whispered in awe and terror. Never provoke Earth. The words became law in countless star systems. They whispered of fleets that could eclipse suns, of soldiers that never tired, of weapons forbidden by any sane species, unleashed with cold calculation. But above all, they whispered of the silence that followed. The galaxy had seen vengeance unleashed, yet Earth had not claimed dominion, had not demanded tribute. They had simply destroyed, then withdrawn, and that silence was more terrifying than any threat. For now, every species knew humanity's patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite. Epilogue. The last warning. In the ruins of a shattered Dominion world, among the wreckage of fleets that once believed themselves invincible, an automated beacon continued to broadcast, endlessly, tirelessly. It carried the final words of humanity's protocol, etched into code for all to hear. Here lies the cost of arrogance. Here lies the price of blood. To strike at us is to summon your end. Remember Vera's Reach. Remember what you made us become. The beacon pulsed through the void, carried on subspace channels across every border, into every empire, a warning, a reminder, a promise. Never provoke Earth again.